It is fall 2025, and we've got pumpkins coming off the vine. We've got overgrown watermelons, overgrown zucchini. Great opportunity to save any seed that you can before next year so you don't have to buy seed. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I've posted videos, and I apologize about that. Been super busy at work and super busy. We're doing a home renovation. All right, getting my first new joists in. That's my first one there, and then I've got a bunch more I need to do. But this is exciting to see the floor finally starting to re-emerge from the depths. And it's just, the farm is kind of a mess right now. I haven't been able to work on projects. All these other things have just been sucking up all my time. For this video, I want to talk about seed storage. And I know, when people think about seed storage, you typically think about these photo organizers, and these things are amazing. I actually have two of them because they work perfectly for your packets, right? These little photo containers are, of course, the perfect size to hold a bunch of packets. So I think most people have a system like this already. There's a whole bunch of other systems that I use for saving seed, though, that I thought I would talk about here because I haven't seen some of these on YouTube. Just a couple of tips. I go around my local area and I look for seed. You can harvest apples and then use those seeds to grow new apple trees and graft onto them. You can harvest, I've got a giant thing of walnuts here, so I'm going to be planting these walnuts. You can also find seed at the grocery store. So I don't know what kind of pumpkin this is. Might be Cucuso, I'm not sure. This is ornamental corn here. So this is, if you buy packets of this, the packets are very expensive. They can be $3, $4, $5, and you get, just a couple grams of seed. But you can buy an ear of ornamental corn like this at the grocery store, and these are like 75 cents, and you literally get like 5 packs worth of seed for 75 cents. Here's another example. This is miniature popcorn. And again, these are literally like 75 cents, and you get many packets worth of ornamental mini popcorn seeds. I went to a pumpkin patch and they had a corn maze, and I was able to pull this ear out of the corn maze. It's the famed number 2 dent corn. So the type of corn that they grow in an industrial operation. And I got this for free, just pulled it straight off a corn stalk. Here's some seed. I grew this in 2023. This is Painted Mountain seed. And you can see it takes up a lot of space, right? All this stuff takes up a lot of space. And so that's what this video is about, is we've got all this seed coming in from all these different places. What can we do to make space for all the seed and keep it nice and safe to use later? I thought I'd go over some of the seed storage strategies that I use because I've got quite a few that I've never really seen anywhere. Most people, when they think seed storage, they think of these photo organizers. So absolutely, I love these photo organizers. But when you're saving this much seed, a photo organizer like this is just not big enough, right? So first thing, aside from this, is this little chest of drawers right here. So this is just loose seed that I've put in here. This is all apple seeds. Pretty much all the apples that we eat, which is a lot. I'll save the seeds, and I just stick them in this drawer. They dry out, and not all these are going to germinate, but they're free. We're getting these for free with the apples that we eat, and so I save them all, and then I just, in the fall time, I sprinkle these into the soil and let them kind of cold stratify over the winter. And then in the spring, I get apples popping up everywhere. This is kind of fun. I planted potatoes in this container, and it turned out there were a whole bunch of apple seeds in this container that were actually leftovers from a previous year. They didn't germinate in the year that I planted them, and so they germinated this year. And so I have these apple seedlings. You can see, planted pretty densely, and they grew in this container where I planted potatoes. So really low stakes, just save your apple seeds, toss them in a pot somewhere, and let them grow. Here we've got green beans, more green beans. See, green beans take up a lot of space, right? This is just a couple plants worth of green beans where a bunch of green beans dried on the plant, and I just pulled the pods off and pulled the seeds out. And even just a couple green bean plants gives us enough green bean seed to grow many gardens worth of green beans. And we have a little label maker. It's very much worth it. It's like $15 for a label maker. And so we just label them on the front. This is a great example of what I was talking about. We've got all kinds of stuff that's maturing in the fall. And so here I just took a couple of spaghetti squashes and I saved the seed, and now I have literally all the spaghetti squash seed that I could ever want to grow, right? This is a phenomenal pepper, Rocoto pepper. If you've never had Rocoto pepper, this is amazing. It's basically the size of a bell pepper, but it has the heat of a habanero. Different flavors, similar flavor, but different from habanero, but the same level of heat. Really, really good. So I had some Rocoto peppers that a friend gave me, and I just took the seeds out, stuck them in a little drawer, in this little chest of drawers, and stuck a label on them. At the bottom of this chest of drawers is these little trays, and these are actually big enough for seed packets, and that's good because I have some seeds that kind of don't fit in with the rest of my seed collection. So these herbs and flowers and stuff, because they just kind of stuck out from the rest of the seed packets, and I just wanted to kind of separate them a little bit. They also work for larger seeds. So here we've got peach pit. These are great because they're large enough to hold these pretty large seeds. Now this is pretty nice. I reuse labels, and so this drawer is large enough for me to just any old labels that I see laying around, I can pick them up, toss them in this little drawer, and I have a nice little hideaway for those labels. So very much worth it. This was like, I don't know, 25 bucks, 30 bucks, whatever. You know, they're not super expensive. You'll have it for a long time. And so that's great for just loose seed. But like we're talking about, sometimes seed can get pretty bulky. And so what I've noticed is cucurbita, corn, beans, melons, things like that. The seed takes up a lot of space. And so what I've done is I purchased this larger chest here. So I have this larger chest of drawers. And like I said, some of these seeds are pretty bulky. So the beans, I never had a good place to keep all my beans because they're just so bulky. So here we've got peas, bulk package of peas, bulk package of fava, and then a bunch of beans that I've saved. This is Wapegi Muni from Sonoran Desert variety. Tapari beans. We've got this is Scarlet Runner bean, super bulky, but because I've got these great big drawers, this chest of containers here, it gives me plenty of space to keep all these really bulky bean seeds. This is my sunflower collection. I mentioned the corn that I get from the grocery store. Yeah, so just a miscellaneous drawer down here. The moringa seed, lab, pigeon pea, just kind of miscellaneous stuff down here. All kinds of interesting squash here. This is Mosquito de Provence and zucchini, Illinois squash. So we have varieties that require a lot of space here. On the opposite side of that spectrum, this is a really nice little storage solution for people who maybe you're in a smaller space, maybe you share a fridge with multiple people. This is a perfect little storage kit, and you just have some seeds to kind of tuck away somewhere. This is a really nice little set here because each of these little containers is very small, but honestly you can save quite a lot of seeds. So this is black locust seed that I've collected regionally here, and I just collected the pods and pulled the seeds out, and now I've got, you know, probably 100 or so black locust seeds that I collected from regional black locust trees. Same deal here. This is some honey locust seeds, and I got these locally as well, so probably 100, 150 honey locust seeds. And I actually went back this fall to get more, and it turns out that they're actually in the process of cutting this tree down. So fortunately, I was able to get these locally adapted honey locust seeds before they cut that tree down. And so, you know, that's kind of what I've done for most of the seeds here. Is a lot of these are collected from various sources, and I just toss them in these little containers. So the nice thing about this is that this will slide into a fridge and it doesn't take up that much space. Or you can take these little containers out and you can keep these containers in the fridge, and these literally just disappear in the fridge. They're so tiny. And so really nice little set here. These are very cheap. I got these at Harbor Freight, and when I got them, it was years ago, but that, you know, like $3.50 for this whole kit right here. By now, you know, the way things are, it's probably like 30 bucks. But anyway, you know, real cheap. I don't know if Harbor Freight still sells these, but if you're looking for a really nice space-saving option, these things are awesome. All right, now this is my seed-saving fridge, so anything I want to keep refrigerated, I'll put it in here. So I've got, this is all going to be planted this fall. Not all, but a bunch of this is going to be planted this fall. This is hazelnuts. I've got some coffee. I've got ash. I've got all kinds of stuff. So I had a whole bunch of seed in our kitchen refrigerator, and my wife yelled at me and said I had to go get a mini fridge to put it all in there because it was taking up too much space. So now I've got this mini fridge, and I'm able to keep any seed that needs to be refrigerated in this mini fridge until it's ready to be planted. Okay, so these shelves, I built these several years back, and these are amazing. I actually have a video on how I built these, and it doesn't have that many views. The channel is just getting started, but I highly recommend, if you haven't built some nice shelves for yourself, these are amazing, very much worth it. And so I built these to accommodate these black and yellow totes. They're just the right size to accommodate these totes. And so this corn, I grew this out a couple years ago, and I've saved it just because now I've got this massive cache of corn seed. And so I've used it down over the years, and then again, I have this giant cache of seed where if I want to do a bulk planting, which I will be doing sometime relatively soon, I have bulk seed now to plant out, because I do have 5 acres. And so if I want to plant out a nice big chunk of that 5 acres, I have a great big cache of seed to work with. All right, now I do some bulk planting already. There's actually some videos on the channel about that. And so when I buy big sacks of seed, I'll put them in, containers like this to keep them away from rodents. And so this is buckwheat here. Oh no, that's Piper Sudan grass. This is hairy vetch here. And last but not least, this has served me really well. This is just an IBC, the bladder part of an IBC. And so this tank, I just cut the top off and I used the top as a lid. And I've got 50-pound bags, so that is wheat there. That is buckwheat, the brown bag in the back there. And then there's some oat and some, other stuff in there. So that summarizes my seed storage. Hopefully that's helpful for you guys as you kind of grab all your seed from the summer and fall